Hey everybody, have you noticed the cost of mealworms at the store is getting extremely expensive? Well, I did, so I decided to, I have a chicken in the background. I decided to order some beetles and grow my own mealworms because it's going to be a whole lot cheaper. So I'm going to show you how I did this. And I found my beetles from a Facebook page called Mealworm and Superworm Farming on Facebook. It's an awesome Facebook page. They have tons of information, a lot of different files on that page that gives you a ton of information about how to grow these, how to take care of them, how to set up an environment for them that they can thrive in. Now, I paid $24, which included shipping, for 500 mealworm beetles. I put mine in a plastic tote here with a lid that is not tightly on because they need some sort of ventilation. If too much moisture builds up and you see condensation in there, that's a bad thing because mold can start to grow. So you want to watch your temperature that they are in and also the humidity level. Now, another thing, because I will tell you a little bit about what to feed them, because they do eat grains, you have to watch out for grain mites. And I do believe that I have grain mites. You see all these tiny dots that are moving? Yeah, I just discovered that right before I'm going to shoot this video, so I need to now look up how to get rid of grain mites. It has been super hot and humid here, and grain mites thrive in humidity, so that's part of my problem. Oh my gosh, they are all over in there. So this is my setup. You can also use a drawer system, like those plastic storage drawers. And then what you would do is cut out the bottom of some of the drawers and put a mesh material in there. And that allows the eggs and the beetle feces or frass to drop down to the other level so that you can keep all of that separate from your adult beetles. I chose to just use one container. The beetles do have wings, but they don't fly very much, so they won't get out of your container. You won't find them all over your house. You need to feed wheat bran, and if you get wheat bran from a feed store or something like that, it is best to microwave it to make sure that there's nothing in there, no contaminants, and would probably also solve any issues with grain mites popping up. I chose to use oats and non-medicated chick starter. The non-medicated chick starter will help boost their growth. The oats and the chick starter is their bedding and also their feed. They don't drink water. Do not put a cup of water in there. They actually get their water from carrots. So all you have to do is make sure that you have carrots in here, and you can kind of see where they were chewing on those. I try to pull out the old crusty ones there. When you order these, you can sometimes expect a 10% death from shipping stress, but the person that I ordered from sent 10% extra just to be sure, to cover those losses that might occur. The stages go from worms to pupa to the beetles. So I started with the adult beetles. Adult beetles lay eggs for 2 to 3 months. Each female lays about 275 eggs, or about 40 per day. So that is a ton of tiny worms. And I will show you in a second here, I do have hundreds and hundreds of baby worms in there. You want to make sure that they are never placed in direct sunlight. Your temperature should be ideally between 74 and 85. So I have my bin in my garage. During winter, my garage gets too cold, so I'm going to have to put them somewhere else. Humidity ideally is 70 to 80%. It is okay for 55 to 75%. After the beetles lay eggs for 2 to 3 months, they die off. And I had a bunch of beetles in here, but I made a mistake. I thought once they laid eggs a few times they would die. I didn't realize that it was 2 to 3 months. So I've been feeding my beetles to my birds. I should have waited longer before feeding. Oh, there's a beetle right there. That's how big they are. Not real big. Now let's see here. What else can I tell you about this before I show you the worms? You want to make sure that you always have carrots in here, and it's best to wash and dry them before you put them in. If they don't have enough carrots to get the water from, then dehydration can slow the growth and can also result in cannibalism, so make sure that you keep your carrots in there. Some people provide a toilet paper or paper towel tube because they like to kind of congregate inside there and also underneath it. Now let's see here if I can, it's kind of gross, I'll admit, but there they are. Teeny tiny mealworm babies. Oh, that one's a little bigger off to the side here. So what you'll need to do if you do a bin method instead of the drawers, I did have a storage drawer container, but my husband was keeping his fishing bait lures in it, so I really couldn't take that and use it. He probably would have been a little mad at me. I will need to get a sifter and sift this out, and because you want to make sure you don't have too much beetle poop piling up in there. So again, you can order these from the Facebook page Mealworm and Superworm Farming. I highly suggest it, and this in the long run is going to save me so much money. One little bag of mealworms at Tractor Supply right now is like $24.99, and I will have so much more growing in this container. So, oh, look at them all. Kind of gross, but very interesting, isn't it? If your adult beetles do die, I mean, they will die eventually, you can feed the dead beetles to your birds. It won't harm them in any way. And I'm probably going to need even more carrots with all these tiny worms in there. Oh, somebody wants to eat some. But yeah, other than my infestation of the mites here that I have to clean up, it has been going very, very well. And it only takes 6 to 8 weeks once you have the adult beetles to start seeing these tiny mealworms in here. So any questions, you can refer to that Facebook page. Very, very helpful and a lot of information on there, and I highly suggest that anybody try this. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. Make sure that you share the channel. There's Buddy Rooster too. Hey, buddy. All right, thanks everybody.